Hi everyone, this is Alex and welcome to this second video of the Matrix demo on the PC. So I'm gonna go through this demo, show you the technical interesting stuff on it, and of course all the problems. But this is pretty much the future of a couple of video games. There's a big list everywhere. You can also just enjoy the scenery, of course. And the first thing I'm going to do is change a few settings right up. And if you run this demo, I'm going to put the how-to at the end of the video. I'm going to put a lot of people. We're going to put a lot of traffic and a lot of cars. Alright. And I'll also just skip ahead and I'm gonna put the counter on so you can see the performance of this machine. I'll put my specs of the machine right under for a few seconds and you'll be able to see. The first thing that I saw in this video, now we're running the video in full, everything except for the resolution far away. So it's upscaling a little bit and I did that to have a little bit more FPS. So I'm gonna go on the other side. Go see a few things, and especially the reflections, for example, which are very impressive. Now this is using nanite lumens, so lumens will be the global illumination that you can see right here. But look at that person walking, for example. You can see her reflection. You can see her reflection on the cars. Her foot on the cars, her shadow going over my shadow. So all of that is inside the engine. So if you want to use Unreal 5, you don't have to program it. It's in it. This is huge images. That is, all the textures in here are probably 4K or 8K because just this demo is 19 or 18 gigabyte. So that's only for everything you see here. So imagine a full-fledged game with, let's say, a lot of nature, mountains and everything. So this is just a huge city, but yeah, that's gonna double, triple easily. That is, if you use those big files, of course. Other engines will use a lot of tricks. Of course, for example, some things that you only see at a distance, well, why actually have full-fledged images? It's not necessary. Let's go a little bit faster. Let's go see a little bit the reflection. And of course the reflections are not 100% full in this demo. And that's fine because that would put the game on his foot. So you can see global reflection, for example. Here we have the gray building reflecting on these windows, which is pretty cool. But these are, of course, low-grade reflections, not 100% the full images. You see it's a little bit blurry and everything. So that's fine, because if that would be a full reflection, that would, of course, oh, not that. There we go. That would be too much for the engine. One thing that I saw right away is when you turn very fast, you can see all those pixels around your character. That's fine. You know, they did put some time in this demo, but they didn't check all the things. For example, this, we would call it anti-aliasing, or going crazy in the building and stuff like that. So they didn't ledge out everything perfectly, but that's fine. It's only a demo, and that it shows actually what it needs to be shown, which is, well, the lumen system and everything else. And you think, all those cars are they programmed and everything? No, it's all done by AI. Even the people are done by AI. You can actually see a little bit of the, let's just call it programmation if you want. How did they code it? Let's go over here. So this is all the AI that is working behind the scene to show the people. Same thing for, oh yeah, you can add the green tint to be in the matrix. And you can see the night all the pixels and everything, how it's working. Is it shaking like that for real? Yes, shake problems. So this is actually all the let me change that, triangles. So yeah, you can see all the triangles being drawn, and of course when you go closer to a triangle, you're gonna have more and more details, right? The closer you are. But although that you see a little bit of popping in this mode, when you are actually walking, you don't see those popping at all. There's no texture popping that I saw in this demo at all. And this is so nice. Because I remember playing, for example, Event Horizon, and sometimes, boom, popping of texture. So you see a tree in the distance, and then you get closer, closer, and the tree will just grow. That's pretty much it. You won't see the tree change textures from the low res texture to the high res texture, right? It's just a tree, and it does the same with all the city. But what about the performance of this? So right now I'm at 50%. I just call it performance. So textures are not 100% right now. It's scaling, so it's scaling up. So this is so I can get a little bit more 30 to 40 FPS, because like I said, yeah, what are you saying? Yo, oh, that's like a car. And let's pop up a little bit of that resolution and try to see if we can. So let's see how that resolution scale 2 works out for us. It's so ugly. Oh my god, this is crazy. So we can see that the resolution scale actually does not really impact the FPS. Maybe slightly, but not that much. And with resolution scale to 2, it's crazy. I'm gonna go around just to see a little bit. Oh my god, this is too crazy. And this looks pretty much like a JPEG would work. I'm not sure because the description is actually something else. Alright, so I did a custom settings. Let's see if my textures and global illumination are awesome. They are perfect because I kept all that quality. And yeah, when you play in a game engine, we're gonna do for now a speed test to see how much fast we can go. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to dump our character here by pressing the dot key, and we're gonna have to go somewhere else. We can actually check out a little bit more about this demo. For example, the interiors. Obviously, some are not really well done, but that's fine. These are actually not interiors, right? The entire map was generated automatically with some restrictions and rules. So for example, those roads are probably human chosen. But yeah, when you look at sometimes some rooms, they don't make any sense. This one actually does. But here, why would you want to put a plant in front of the door? Or sometimes you can see some offices where the door is actually non-existent or blocked, like here, so which is pretty funny. But when you play that game and you are at that distance of the building, it doesn't change a thing. These are actually not real 3D rooms. They are actually images. Oh, look, like, for example, there's a machine in front of the door here. But when you go inside, you can see that we are actually inside the building. So this is kind of a mapping, special mapping, and the 3D effect is kind of reproduced instead. So let's go a little bit faster. You can see that this city is pretty big, and all the other cities around are totally generated. There's no human intervention. We're gonna go see one later. But here's a big road, so we're gonna be able to make a speed test on that. and you want to ask yourself, what is the limit? Right? Because there was this Unreal Engine 5 demo where the girl was running around and everything, and it seems to be pretty nice, but yeah, I have to test it with that, and it's not quite the same thing. You can go pretty fast, but eventually you have this limit, and we can see it's trying to load the textures and stuff. So I think I would have to try this again with maybe resizable bar enabled on my machine, because it's not right now. And I think it's a bandwidth limit from probably the capacity of sending textures to the GPU or the CPU. If you have a decent speed, you can still go very fast in this demo, right? Without any lag or anything. So let's go a little bit like this. So this is pretty reasonable, and it's a good speed, and we're going anywhere. I did not plan this path at all, and everything is okay. And I know it's not my hard drive. Well, this is actually an NVMe drive, because I can go way beyond those 5 megabyte that you saw there. And I'll show you an example. I'll just copy a file real quickly. Watch that meter and that HDD. Oh, it is within the HDD, but it's not the HDD, it's a SSD. So right now I'm copying 18 gigabyte on the SSD, and you can see it rocketing at 18 something megabyte per second, and then it's going back down. Just like that, 18 gigabyte in a few seconds. I do suspect it's mostly the time it takes to send all those textures to the GPU or the CPU, because the CPU is pretty used. Let's go here just to see the other cities. As you can see, there's no logic anywhere. They just, the buildings are in the streets and stuff like that. So it's only for having some decor and some background, and it actually works. So it's perfect for that. I'm gonna go on top of this building. I think this one is the highest. You can see that 9 nights, and everything else is just fine. All right, I was searching for a decent speed, but yeah, imagine a game where you can actually, or you can do an interview there. Just put yourself there. I might do that in a future video. Of course, without all those texts and all those performance counters. So how can you jump in the bandwagon on your PC and actually play this game? Let's get out of here and let's do that, and let's go on the desktop. There's two ways you can actually download and play with the game. So the first one, you can actually install the Epic Game Launcher, and once it's launched, there's a section Unreal Engine. Just click on it and install the engine. So you're gonna download the entire engine, which is pretty big, and this is mostly better if you are a developer. You'll be able to play with it and everything. So go to samples once it's downloaded, and you can download the CitySample, which will be the entire thing. So there's also the Lyra starter game, which is a game that is already developed, a very simple game. So if you are a developer and you want to look at it from a game perspective instead of a demo or a tech demo, you'll be able to also try the Lyra. You can also download the files from these two links if you want the compiled version. So you'll just have to click on it to start it. Well, you're gonna have all those files. I would suggest 7-zip if you don't have it. And once you're there, you just start the CitySample, and that's gonna load everything up, and you'll be good to go. Now, inside CitySample, save, config, Windows, there's the GameUserSettings.ini. You can actually change there the configuration of these. All these settings are actually, when you play a game and you change the quality to low, medium, and high quality, and too crazy quality, and impossible quality. Will it run on crisis quality? So all these things are actually what developers will change here. So they were going to change different quality of different aspect of the game, of the render engine. For example, put shadow quality to 0. Well, you can probably forget any shadows. They're going to obviously copy the file and keep the original, just in case. We never know, right? Also, be sure that if you are launching the game, that software like RivaTuner or RivaServer are not there because you might have a crash. So MSI Afterburner and RivaServer need to be closed when you actually start the CitySample. Not sure why, just start it after if you want, just Alt-Tab and start them after and it's gonna work. After that, of course, don't think that this is a full-fledged game. Of course it's not. You have the menu to the left. You can add more stuff. You can see the map where you are. For some reason the brackets are used to go around. If you are inside, you have a photo mode, and if you can use a controller, of course. And of course, you need to use the arrows on the right of the keyboard to change those settings, which is pretty weird, but hey, why not? And basically, you'll be able to play around like the demo. This is another way to see how lumens and everything works in the night. And if you hit the key right of the layout with an English keyboard, of course, I had to change my keyboard for that. Well, then you can actually just remove kind of a debug mode where you have different options and you can go faster, way faster than what actually programmed in the game. You can also, there's no collision detection in this mode, so you will go through buildings. But basically that's it for the demo, guys, and hopefully you found this interesting. Obviously this is used with Unreal, but it's also used in movie now, so movies are using it. You probably saw The Mandalorian where you have this game, this engine actually. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the Unreal Engine in the future. Unreal Engine 4 have been released I think 8 to 10 years ago, so it's going to be interesting to see where this engine will go towards the future. Of course. That note, guys, stay tuned, subscribe for more, and if you want to see the FPS version of this demo, I actually calculated everything and made a few tests. So how much FPS you would have with a 3090? Well, go check it out. It's pretty interesting and it can bring a 3090 to his knees easily. Stay tuned, guys, subscribe, and take care.